Welcome to Karaoke Wine with Jules and Tessa.
Welcome.
Hello.
Karaoke Wine.
Yes, the last one that we are actually shooting in 2025.
Yes, and also happy Hanukkah.
Yes, happy
to
Hanukkah.
all my humans.
Yes.
We're so excited. I was called an honorary Jew last night, and I was really excited. More because I have to work the next 2 weeks than anything. And I was like, interesting, but
Yes, and we're shooting at 11 something. So
yeah,
we're going to do our shout out to Briosa.
obviously.
But today we're a morning show.
Yes, we are. And that's so funny, actually, that you said that, because I actually have a little thing about the morning show in my notes.
Really?
Cheers.
Cheers. Coffee.
Yep.
Love.
Next piece of fun thing that I get the two of us is going to be karaoke wine mugs.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, maybe they'll be in the shape of a wine glass.
Oh, that would be cute.
Maybe like a stemless one.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and introduce the episode. I want you to do it because this is actually your idea and I love it. To be fair, when you sent me the notes, I was like, fuck yes.
So to end off 2025, Oxford came out with the word or words of the year. And the top one was rage bait.
Yep. An outrage culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this year, I feel like rage bait has been going on for many years already, but this year has been an extreme. And I also think that people now notice what it is and can decipher it for themselves on whether they're going to actually fall for it.
I also think, to piggyback on that, it's also more apparent now because people are so immersed in social media for real world events. And in some cases, it's good because it brings awareness to things that maybe your local news channel or even international news or whatever in the news doesn't cover. When people are getting hurt or discriminated against. And then there's the other aspect of it is people are unintentionally spreading misinformation
Just to
clicks.
get that clickbait.
Yes, the clickbait.
Yeah.
Rage bait, clickbait, kind of,
Yeah.
that hook, line, and sinker fishing, if anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think when it comes to news, I don't even watch the news anymore. My mom has the news on 24/7, so I do catch some conversations of what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
But I see so many people, and I do it too, is I post things that have gone on and they're like headlines, like right now, instant, what is going on in the world. And then I do more research, or then I go into a deeper dive. I also think, because I've been fooled by a lot of AI to the point where my friends are like, dude, that's not even real. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it just got me to click on it, have a reaction, and then I post. And then my friends are like, no, that's fake.
All the time. It's a little bit scary what is happening right now in that retrospect. There is so much content that is not even accurate. I remember one just off the top of my head was about that woman who stole prescriptions, that old woman, and she like got arrested and she was in the courtroom and they were like, we're going to punish you. And she's this little old lady like in shackles, and everyone was watching it and somebody was like, this is not true. Somebody created it to bring awareness to what they're doing with prescription medications and what the healthcare system is doing. However, it really drives that emotional aspect of you feel for it and then you get angry, because anger is a lot easier to express than vulnerability. And I think that's why rage bait is so intense right now, is because if it elicits feelings from you in any capacity, our immediate reaction is to go to anger as humans, because it's a lot easier to do than the hurt, the rejection, anxiety, or loss. Like we can just get angry. It's just ingrained in us to do that as the first emotion when it's actually a secondary emotion that we're hiding from.
Yeah. I mean, after anger, you have to go, okay, why am I angry? Is it shame?
Yeah.
Is it the fear of something happening? I have learn that in therapy, guys. Yeah. But it took
took
me 40 years, guys. Yeah. to understand. I'm like, oh, I'm not really angry. Yeah. I am reacting this way because there's a deeper
reason for it.
Yeah, deeper reason for it. So this article on Oxford basically says rage bait is defined as online content deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, offensive, and typically posting in order to increase traffic to or engagement with a particular webpage or social media content. I think with 2025, there's a lot of rage baits around certain political affiliations, religious freedom, gender identity. That debate has been going on for a very long time. It's a big one. For me, being Jewish, the religious aspects of post-October 7th and the immediate rage against the Jewish people, I felt very sad. Yeah. And it was very disheartening because people were so easily jumping on the anti-Semitic bandwagon. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all these people, all of them.
I think too, you think about, there is 2 documentaries that got released at the same time on this religious war. Okay.
Yes.
There was a Palestinian documentary about how the Jewish people tore down all their homes, and the way that they portrayed it was as if they were maliciously doing it. There was another documentary at the same time that was Will We Dance Again, which was specific about October 7th and what actually happened. One of those documentaries was in theaters and mainstream media, which I think caused the anti-Semitic movement to be so blown out of proportion, because the other documentary
was just on Amazon. Yeah. And it was, you had to find it. The Palestinian documentary got nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. And it's not, we're not here to dictate what happened, but use your common sense. When one thing is completely in everybody's faces and getting awards, you're more likely to lean into that narrative and not create an opinion of your own. And that is the problem, right?
Yeah, this episode is really, it's not about the Gaza conflict because it's way above my fucking pay grade.
1000%. But it's just a good example.
But, yeah, I will say when you have protests all around the world and people have said that the other side, and I won't even say their names, their PR strategy and the floodgates of Instagram and TikTok, and they did win the info wars 100%. And we're still fighting it. And I feel being Jewish and living the Jewish life, we always choose light. We don't choose darkness, and we don't sit in it. And for me, I feel like I don't post any negative stuff on the other side unless it's like so brutal. Mm-hmm. Like the Australian massacre that just happened for the Hanukkah. Yeah. I had to post something because this is when rage bait goes to the extreme and then people act on it. Yeah. You have the Brown University shooting that happened probably 2 days before. And allegedly the shooter was yelling something that was anti-Semitic before he opened fire. Right. They have not come out and said that he did or did not, but the students said that that happened.
Well, to that point, and I don't know if I've ever actually shared this before. I think I maybe shared a little bit of it, but last year when we went to my niece's cheer competition, there was an active shooter. All of a sudden, bullets from inside were scattered all over, like glass pings from inside where we were at the Dallas Convention Center. And the way that the media twisted it said there wasn't an active shooter, something fell in the background. Listen, motherfuckers, I was there. Those bullet holes were not there before it happened. And then they came out with, no, there was a shooting like months ago. There's a police report for it. It's just like what you are saying. They have all of these people that are there saying this is what happened, but then mainstream media is saying there's no proof. And there was proof.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Were they actually saying it? Probably.
Yeah.
Right? But no one's going to know because they don't have like that evidence of it actually happening in that moment.
Yeah. I think it's the ultimate like gaslighting.
Yeah.
You're like, I was there. I lived it. These people they have their truth. I find it interesting though, because posting stuff like that would be rage bait in a sense, but they're not, because I think that now they're taking a stance of like, we don't want to incite more stuff.
Right before it happened, they released an article in Dallas, because this is the last time that NCA, this was a cheer competition that was happening. It's the last time it's happening in Dallas, because they're building a bigger convention center in Houston that it's going to be transitioning to. And there was an article an hour before this all went down that said how much money this was driving to the Dallas market. And it was the first day. So conspiracy theory, here we go.
I love a good conspiracy.
Yes. They had 2 more days of this massive competition that Dallas hadn't seen an income like this. And the amount of construction that they're doing in the city of Dallas, I mean, just to think about the amount of money is probably just burned essentially to get all of these things done, because it's growing so quickly. And you have the #1 event of the year to actually drive the economy, and this actually happens. You're going to do everything you possibly can
to hide it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I am going through all of these things, social unrest, illicit anger, frustration, being offensive, the fact that people want to post stuff just to get engagement.
Yeah.
And I know, like, when we do our reels for our podcast, we do take the juiciest stuff and we're like, oh, this would create engagement. But never in my mind, and this I think is because we're good humans.
Thank gosh. My goodness.
I would never want to post or be, what's the word? Polarizing.
Yes.
To just create, because I never want to have someone be so angry to do something about it. Like, people are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
They just really are. And you never know, like, people go down the rabbit holes and they watch all these conspiracy theories. And if you're like nonstop on a computer or in your room, just watching, of course they're going to get brainwashed. Of course they're going to like not hear the other side. And we were talking about this morning. We also talked about it on the past episode about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
It's people are so involved and you can't even talk to them. It's like their way or the highway. And he was polarizing because he was having a discussion.
Yeah.
Tell me your side of your point of view.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it. But people don't want to talk about it.
People don't want to have discussions. I think that we were raised in an environment that said everyone has different opinions. That doesn't mean that your opinion has to match them, but you can still have a productive conversation about it. People don't allow grace for opinions anymore. You can't have discussions anymore. You're not allowed to have a difference. Like, if you don't 1000% agree with every single thing someone else agrees with, you're wrong. And it used to not be like that. A lot of this led with political landscape. So I know that we talked like where did this like actually come from? It's a proven tactic to drive engagement.
Yeah.
You can anger people with the slightest things because it promotes an emotion. And that's why it's a secondary emotion that you're probably hiding behind with the anger. When we read this article, and it's a quick read, you guys, it's 4 minutes, you know how we do these things. There was a deliberate agitation when someone flashes at someone to pass them. This is the first time it was introduced.
Oh, yeah, it was in 2002.
2002. Rage bait was introduced. And what's interesting about this is I first learned, and when you're driving, I should probably clarify what this means. So the whole idea behind the 2002 introduction of rage bait was if somebody's driving behind you and you're going too slow or not doing what you want them to do, you can flash your brights at them so they know to get over. this is actually incredibly popular to do in Texas, but it's also incredibly rude. So like you're basically rage baiting them, like get the fuck out of, you're like in my way.
Yeah.
But I saw it firsthand in Texas, like, what are you doing? And he was like, they need to get out of the fast lane. And it's like, people are okay with that? Like, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned my lesson. People do like slam on their brakes, and it's like the ultimate, like, fuck you. And then you have an accident. Like, that's not very smart. I think I have flashed my lights when you're on like the left lane of the express and you're going 65, which is the actual speed limit. You should not be in the express lane. You should not.
Common sense, people. Common sense is.
It's not like I'm a speed demon, but you could be just in the normal traffic.
It's true. Just don't be that person. 80 is normal. Okay. If you're going like above 80, go around me. That's fine. I'll get out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, but rage bait turned into, it's actually an internet slang, right? That's how it was created. And it's really to disrupt or critique what is posted online. And I think in the atmosphere after COVID, when no one was allowed outside, people have relied much heavier on online content than we've ever seen before. And because of this, people now feel that they have the right to say whatever they want, which
I mean, they do.
They do.
You do have the right. It's in the First Amendment. But
it's insane, though, what lengths people are going to in order to get this type of engagement. Like, I saw this really pretty woman, and she had mentioned some disgusting thing that happened to her, and everyone's like, why are you
sharing?
Yes, like foul, like 2 girl 1 cup foul.
You know, does the younger generation even know about that? Because I know that was the only video that was like scrubbed from the internet. You can Google it and you cannot find it. And that's when I was in college? I think I was in college at that time.
Yeah, you had to have been, because I think I was either like a junior or a senior in high school when that happened.
It was the only video that made me throw up.
I think I don't even remember. I didn't watch the full thing, I don't think. I think I maybe watched a couple seconds of it. But because people who had watched it and you see just a glimpse of it, the way that people are talking about it, you just see it. Like, even if you were just like, even if you didn't watch the video, you see it in your head. It's so disturbing.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that the algorithms are rewarding the dysregulation, which is interesting to me because it's rewarding this proactive content, but it's actually manipulating people's views to build anger. Like, it's manipulating your reactions to get a certain reaction out of you. Again, circling back to the AI, when somebody has a narrative, it's much more impactful to see a little old lady in handcuffs to pull at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
Or even animals. Like, people are using animals a lot to show.
Well, there was that video that just came out. There's a cockfighting ring in Miami, and one of the dogs passed away, and it was in the hospital but passed away. And then they found out that there's other dogs that they need to find. And I saw the post. I couldn't even watch it because
so disturbing.
Babies and old people and animals like are off limits.
Yeah.
And I do post, like Urgent Dogs of Miami is they post about animals that are about to be euthanized. And I do share those, like, if anybody you can foster, like, take them out of that line. That's amazing. But the fighting videos, I couldn't share it. Like, I was just like, I couldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
And it elicits the right response because they do want to stop it, and we do need to change that culture. But there are just some things like off limits.
Yeah, off limits. And it's also, was it real?
Well, this one was.
Yeah.
But you just don't
but you
know.
Don't know. You don't really know anymore. And I know that I mentioned the morning show earlier about the deep fakes. So
Yeah, tell me, because I haven't, is this on season 3?
Yes.
Because I haven't watched season 3.
Yeah, and it's actually quite interesting. It's so funny how the morning show hits on topics that end up becoming like the trendsetters in these topics. However, Jennifer Aniston's character, they manipulate her with an AI deep fake. And like part of their whole initiative in season 3 is that they've created AIs for each of their most popular people. And in the very beginning, something happens and someone manipulates the footage of Jennifer Aniston to be saying something completely different. It sounds like her. It looks like her. Obviously, it was her in the acting sense. However, she starts freaking the fuck out because she's like, I don't remember it that way. But there's video footage of me doing it. And that's part of the problem. So then they went back and looked at the footage and they were able to determine it was a deep fake. But that's the whole point. It's hijacking to influence your emotions negatively. And this is something that happened where it could have ended her entire career.
Yeah.
And it sounded like her. It looked like it was her. Maybe in this context, she actually was the person standing in to act for that part. But you see it all the time. Like this candy cane photo that, have you seen that going around?
No.
I don't understand what it is.
I have
it's
no
an
idea.
AI. It's all over my social media. Madeline posted it. And I think because she posted it, now it's showing up. There's like this pose with a candy cane that everybody's doing with AI, and it's like tripping everyone out because it looks just like them. Yeah.
I've seen the Grinch one, but it is you with Grinch.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's just an AI app that you do and everyone's been posting it, but I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I tried to do the AI headshots when they were like really popular, remember? And you had to end up taking the headshots for me because every AI.
Well, you didn't even look the same.
I didn't. I sent it. They're like, send in a picture of your face. And I don't know if it's because I have too many big features on my, like my eyes are really big. My smile is really big. But I mean, I was like, what the fuck happened to my face? And not in a good way. It's like that app on Snapchat where it drops your nose, your eyebrows, and your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to like blink to get them to set on your face properly.
Yes.
That's what I turned out like in multiple different versions. And I was like, how else am I supposed to give you photos of my face? Like they were just normal selfies.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for me. So
yeah,
had to go the normal route, Facetune.
So the funnier side of rage baiting that we were talking about is when men and women rage bait other men.
Yeah.
So it's funny because the things that came up, I was like, well, that's just funny.
Yes.
Like, and I don't even see why men would be reacting that way. But the funny thing is, like, if you're a guy and you or a girl that has seen their boyfriend or brother play like Call of Duty or like any of those video games, they're shit talking
all the
whole
time.
time.
Yeah.
In this instance, that's what rage baiting is.
Yeah. To get a reaction, it's to get a negative reaction out of somebody.
But
It's
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's hysterical. It's almost like teasing. It's just mainstream now. It's just all over social media now. But this is shit, like, it's to push your buttons. It's like a sibling relationship, except people have taken it to a very dark extreme. Weird.
True. But if you think about it, our generation was, when I went to college for communications and journalism, it was very important to, the fundamentals of journalism was to double check your sources, double check your facts, and make sure what you're putting out in the world is the truth. Yeah. It is not a point of view. It's not an opinion piece. Now, that's why I don't really watch the news, is because everything is commentary. Everything is talk show. Yeah. Everything is like 5 people sitting around, which I love. I love to hear their point of views.
Yeah.
But it's not like, hey, there was a bombing at this time, at this date, and this amount of people. It's now like, well, those numbers were skewed. That didn't happen that way. And so you don't really know what the facts are anymore until like 6 months down the road. They're like, okay, we have to retract that piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen that way.
100%. I actually watched a movie yesterday on Hulu. It's called I'm Not Okay. And the premise of this movie is this girl pretended she was in Paris. And when she was pretending to get the attention of a guy, FYI, okay, she photoshopped all her photos, said she was in Paris. She posted a photo in Paris, and 13 minutes later, there was a bombing. And this is like the underlying tone of the movie. and she's about to come clean. And the guy reaches out to her. Hey, I hope you're okay. So then she decides.
What if she didn't know that there was a bombing in Paris? She's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. But she fell asleep because she's pretending it's 9 a.m. in Paris, and then she passes out. So it's like a whole night that goes on after the bombings happened. And then all of these people are like reaching out to her, and she becomes Instagram famous and becomes a voice for people with trauma. And at the end, an actual reporter in her office found all of this stuff and was like, I'm going to expose you if you don't expose yourself. But watch the movie. Again, I feel like going back to our last episode with Oh Hi, it's a deeper meaning and movie form. Right. This is actually what happens. People are so...
The people that pretend to have cancer, I watch those documentaries all the time. Yes. And I'm like, how sick can you be that you actually take the photos and you're writing a blog accepting money from people that want to truly help someone with cancer? And it's just mind-blowing. It's like you're a mom, you go to church, or like a dad that's like pretending. It's just mind-blowing that people will go to the nth degree to get any kind of, and it's attention.
Yes.
Bro. Like,
well, people
dig deep.
Yeah. People get validated by that. I remember we had a conversation with one of our friends, and she went to an influencer event, which we could fucking care less about influencers, to be fair. Like, we're just not those people. We care about the people in our lives that actually mean something to us, or who actually know us, I should say. And this person was upset because she wanted to be a part of this crowd. I put it back on them, and I was like, why do you care what people who don't know you think, right? Yeah. That shouldn't be something that you care about. And the response from this person was, well, you guys are just normal people. There's this idea of social media, when you have a big following or you are quote unquote an influencer, that somehow makes you special. And people go viral all the time, and then they do the same shtick over and over again. I saw this one woman who made fun of her sister because she left her a voice note or a voicemail, and like her entire page is her acting out her sister now, leaving her voicemails and voice notes. And she has... And it's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking funny. Like, I watched it and I was like, oh, this is amazing. More because she did the My Cousin Vinny, Marissa Tomei, like, the carburetor skit, and it was great. She like did a great job. Her sister left the voice note, and then her other sister's like acting it out as she's talking. So
I like those because it allows people to be creative.
Right. That's her whole profile though now. And it's so interesting to me that I'm like, but it brings good. And I'm not mad about her, like, making it from that. It's interesting what people are grasping to because of all of the rage bait that is actually out there right now. I mean, we know that I went down a rabbit hole the other day on a political topic that we're not going to get into right now. And I had to talk to my therapist about it. I talked to her for an hour about it because I was so fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest takeaway from that experience was, it's frustrating for me because I'm not different enough to join the conversation. And that's fucking bullshit. If it impacts you in a certain way, and this was a woman's issue, by the way, which I'm like, I have a vagina. I should be able to have an opinion about it. But don't you dare, you person over there. I'm like, excuse me. Like, for me,
because I know I'm going to elicit a reaction out of her.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, Tessa, button push.
She did. She said, and I was like, you bitch. But I watch it. I'm so over not being able to have an opinion about things. You're dismissed because of the way that you look or the way that you act or how you were raised or whatever it may be. You're just not allowed to have an opinion anymore. People can't have opinions anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you're some type of phobic. You're some type of racist. You're some type of misogynist. You're some type of feminist. How about we're just people having conversation for once?
The side that, like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Yes.
You know the side that is like, why have labels? They're the side with the most labels.
All the labels.
All the labels.
All the fucking labels. And you guys, not to make this political in any way, that's my fucking party that has all the goddamn labels. I'm like, fuck, guys, stop making us look bad.
I know. And it's just so funny. It's just common sense. I'm like, you don't want to be labeled and you don't want to be pushed into a box and you don't want to do this, but you guys are the first ones to be like, and I'm like, I don't even know what half of those are.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. I'm like, whatever.
And it's if you don't know you're insensitive or you're some type of terrible person, I'm just confused because yesterday it was something different. Like, wait for me to catch up. Let me get there. There's actually this guy on Instagram and I think he's hysterical. He's called Clown Repellent. And he digs up the best rage bait that you've ever seen in your life because it's just these people who are so far outside of the logical human spectrum. Like, I'm talking, these people think that they're animals. There's this one person who goes by Bug and literally posted something the other day that she identifies as somebody who's lost their left arm and she has phantom symptoms. Does she have her arm? Yes. But she identifies as an amputee that lost her left arm.
I have seen, and people do sometimes amputate their limb and they're like happier for it. Like, I've seen a whole documentary. It's like the same people as the people that eat weird shit. And like the one lady was like eating her hair. The other person was like eating cat food. The other person was eating the couch stuffing, you know? And then they like have all these ailments because they're sick. I'm like, no fucking duh. Of course you're sick. You're eating fucking, I don't know, couch stuffing. Like, it's not normal. Like, your body can't process it. Of course you're sick.
There's too much acceptance of,
I think being weird also is like a trend and like a fad, and like the people that are like the most weird get the most click. Did you see that guy that dressed up as a deer and he was in the woods and he got shot and like unfortunately got killed because these hunters thought he was a deer? I mean, it's like, when do you draw the line?
And then he was in the wrong for that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure the hunters were like,
he had a prosthetic. Like, he actually did look, I was like, I got to give it to him, but he was in the forest and he got shot. And he passed away.
What was his, like, trigger Bambi or something? He's like, I identify as Bambi's mother. So
listen, I think you can play dress up, and I love a good costume.
Yeah.
But
I love a good costume.
I love a good costume. Yeah. And I remember watching CSI Vegas.
Yes. The furry
convention. Wait, hold on. But I watched that episode when I think I was in middle school or high school. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. They have a convention. Yeah. And then they go back to their normal day life and day job. And that's fine. When it goes into, I want to do this every day, and then I need people to
get on board with me,
I think it's borderline illness.
It's not borderline illness. That is mental illness. If you're walking around in a giant raccoon costume, digging through somebody's trash, like, that is a health hazard.
I mean, if you did that in the 60s, 70s, you would be in a straitjacket.
Yeah, you would go bring back the asylums. Unpopular opinion by Tessa Tierney. And I can say this because I have mental health problems, people. So don't come at me saying that I don't support it.
But we see it all the time. And I think that when we see it now, and even like, unfortunately, with the very bad things that are happening in life, we're so desensitized to things that, like, when I see something, I'm like, oh, that's really sad. I sent you a thing of a guy that took out a huge like machete knife in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And people were just like looking at him, and then he like charged and killed 3 people. And I feel like the culture, the Asian culture, they don't have a lot of violence like that. No. So they were just kind of standing around like watching him like, until they actually figured out, oh no, he's stabbing people.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I had the what the fuck moment. And then I was like, I have to send it to somebody because I was like, this is nuts. Like, this is crazy. And then I look at people and I'm like, he was in the middle of the street. Why doesn't someone with a car just fucking run him over? But then you don't know what people do when you're in that moment, I guess. In my mind, I would run him over if I saw a knife.
Yeah.
But we're also, as Americans, prone to violence. Like, we have a lot of violence in our culture.
You just don't react the same way you would. You grow up, don't touch the stove, it's hot. And now we have these little phones in front of us that show us like guns are bad and this is what happens. So when you're actually in a moment of being around the sound of it or seeing it happen, it's almost like your brain can't compute that, hey,
like real time,
run.
Yeah.
Where are your instincts? And you're like in your head thinking, no,
this
I'm
can't be
just
happening. This can't be happening.
This can't be
There's
happening.
no way.
This only happens in movies. And it's like, nope, there it is.
Well, yeah.
Johnny just lost his head.
It's unfortunate, like rage bait, it's been going on for a long time. Now we have an official word. And then we also have the extremists that go beyond of, I have to do something about this. And that's just not the case. So,
well, it's rage framing too, which is taking an entire movement. So rage bait is obviously the videos that they're clickbait or whatever it may be. Like there's an actual movie called Clickbait, and it's like, if this gets 1 million clicks, like we're murdering him for everyone to see.
I remember that.
Yeah. And rage framing is essentially manipulating the mind. So you see one video, and then that's when I went down my rabbit hole the other day, because then it just starts showing you everything. Even if you spend too much time on a specific ad on social media now, your next 7 ads are the same thing.
Yes.
And it's not even intentional. Maybe you're doom scrolling, right? And you like look somewhere and it's like half a second longer than you spent on everything else. That's what's going to be shown to you over and over again. Also, speaking of this, the new Apple updates, Juliana is one of our green bubbles, so she doesn't apply to her.
I'm like, what are you talking about, Tessa?
I need everybody, if you are on the new Apple update, Apple is now tracking everything that you do on your apps. Not only do you have to turn it off on your phone, you have to individually turn it off on every single one of your apps.
Oh, really?
It is terrifying. Whatever about the new look of the iPhone, like the amount of data, and it's every 15 minutes. It's downloading your information.
I mean, data is gold.
Yeah.
Companies buy it. They use it. I know, like, for companies that need to sell a product or whatever, they buy these lists of your full name, your age, your occupation, your income, your political affiliation, if you are in fact registered to vote. Like, people know everything about you. I don't think people understand the gravity of it.
No.
We also are like the last generation that grew up with no cell phones. But now that we have cell phones, we have this post 9/11 and pre 9/11 of what the government is allowed to have access to or watch. And when it first post 9/11, we were like, I'm not hiding anything. You can track me or whatever. And now they're like, no, it's none of your fucking business. I'm not doing anything. Like, go away.
Yeah.
And kids nowadays, they don't even... Did I send you that clip of like the kids not even knowing what 9/11 meant?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't. And I think that's the problem with the younger generation, as we actually grew up with libraries and we read books and our news was the actual news. We didn't have clickbait.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of this. So like the younger generation, they only watch the clickbait stuff.
A lot of people's source of opinions or views or source of world events is coming from social media. So when you're take this rage bait culture to incite outrage, people are going to go down these rabbit holes. And that's where multiple people putting out the content, multiple people sharing the AI, that's what's starting to create this cycle of perpetual hate. And when people go to extremes and they shoot up schools, they blow up places of worship, like it's these people saying, well, all of these other people are with me. 97% of that stuff is not even real.
Yeah.
It's getting people's attention to anger them so much. And you never know when somebody goes through a really traumatic event. Grief makes you say and do things that you would never normally do or say. And that's why a lot of times people lose very close people to them in those types of moments, because you don't recognize the person anymore. And think about those people doom scrolling who are just so irate about the drunk driver that hit the pole that knocked out their internet before you could say good night to your son or something. I know I'm using a less aggressive example right now, But like that person goes nuts and they're like, how dare this drunk driver? And all of a sudden they have a vendetta against drunk driving, which don't drink and drive, obviously. But it's one of those things that started out as, okay, you lost internet. And now because they went on some type of moment in their brain, they went down a rabbit hole and it became this much bigger picture of what if that person did this instead. And then they create that narrative in their head and they make it a bigger issue. And I know I'm using something very untraumatic, but that's what happened.
I think, yeah, and you're right. You know, when people doom scroll and mental health is an issue in our society and we work out, like, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't have rage. I fucking work out a lot. And I read and I journal and I dance and I listen to music. And they just came out with a study. They had 2 vials of blood under a microscope. One went to like just the centrifuge to like, you know, do the medical whatever. And then the other one was in a capsule and they blasted music. The blood cells that were under the music, 80% stayed alive. The blood that was just in the centrifuge in silence, it all died. So they're saying that music helps you be happy. Yeah. It keeps your blood flowing and more alive. And I was like, that's why I'm so fucking even killed. Because like I'm constantly around music. And you never see, and this is what's so sad about it. The Nova Festival was a festival of DJs and love and they happiness. Happiness and they just wanted to dance and it was like all over, like people from all over the world. So to attack that was a big symbol. And I make jokes all the time. I'm like, you never see a raver mad. Like you never, like they go to festivals and they have the best time. That's not to say there's no crime at music festivals because obviously there are, but the majority of the people going, they just want to have a good time and they want to experience life and they love and they love accepting people and, you know, they love music. Yeah. And so if everyone just went to a rave every once in a while and like maybe just worked out, we'd probably be a healthier society.
Yeah, seriously. Like fuck like microdosing mushrooms. Let's just get that EDMA out there. Like fuck it. Molly for everyone.
I mean, they did do that for PTSD.
They did. And it's working. MDMA.
Well, MDMA, ketamine, psilocybin, they're all doing clinical research on people with PTSD. And I think even government agencies have used it on certain people. And that's me going down a rabbit hole with my documentaries.
And we love documentaries. I watch documentaries all the time. Yeah. There's a lot of information out there. And hopefully we course correct and get to a point again where people can have a difference in takeaways when watching all this information. I think for the time being right now, especially with the political climate in so many different ways, it's just very easy to cling to the hate because again, it's that first emotion to hide everything else that's underneath. Not everything that triggers you deserves your energy. That's true. Not everything that connects you is an actual real connection. But because
I was going to say something funny, like a rage bait line that I saw was, it's not that serious.
It's not that, this is not brain surgery.
Like you wake up every day, you live your whole life. And a lot of the things that are out in the world, yes, you have to be an activist for the things that are important to you. Yeah. 100%. But a lot of it doesn't really affect you every day. I get if you're gay and the Supreme Court takes away gay marriage, of course, that is your right to be an activist and to stand up. If you're a woman and Roe versus Wade got overturned and you have a severe reaction to it, yes, be an activist, protest, call your congressman.
We don't call them women anymore. We call them birthing people.
Get the fuck out of here. That's another episode.
I will comment on what my rabbit hole was later because
Anyway, but you should be an activist for things that are important to you. And just
You should be.
You should be.
You should be allowed to. But
that's be protesting. That's not going to the nth degree and doing whatever. But
yes. And don't wear vaginas on your head. We're not talking about that. Me just like getting all the controversy in this episode. Jules is like, okay.
I'm like, usually I'm the one that says stuff. And
Seriously.
I'm like,
I've just had a moment, you guys. I don't know if it's my old age. I don't know if it's my healing. I don't know if it's like my fucks have never been like this because there's zero left to give. I'm like finally in a place where I'm just like, I am who I am. And if you want to have a productive conversation, I think what frustrates me the most is I'm always open to listening to other sides. Yeah. And you are too.
Yeah.
And again, we've talked about this before. Jules and I don't agree 100% on everything.
Yeah.
But we still support each other.
We agree on that.
It's the one agreement that you need. I even talked to my dad the other day, and he was like, you know, when I was growing up, to be liberal or to be conservative or to be gay or to be straight or to be black or to be white, people just accepted you for the opinion that you had and just knew that you weren't on the same side of it, but you still moved in the same direction. We don't know how to move in the same direction anymore. It's always like trying to pull somebody in your direction. It's like, if we just keep moving forward and allow people to just be who they are and move forward, it would just be an easier, but again, people can't have conversations anymore.
No, I agree. Well, and this conversation, but there was a video that was going around Instagram, and it was like this lady who is rolling down their window and yelling at people like, hey, and she would say a compliment in a very cheeky way, and they would turn around like, oh, hey, girl, thank you, I love you. It's like that feeds my soul.
Yes.
So like I love seeing stuff like that, like people actually going out of their way to make people happy and to feel good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
one of her girlfriends last night, and we'll be done just because you said the happy thing. One of her favorite words to say when she's feeling happy is happy. Her daughter, who's 3. She knows how to say eyes, ears, knees, and toes. She knows how to say mom. She knows how to say dad, and she knows how to say happy.
Yeah.
And that's what she does when she's feeling happy. She's like, happy. And it's like, why don't more people walk around doing that? Can we just revert back to like before you're brainwashed into these
I think that
rabbit holes?
Everything has a pendulum, and it will swing the other way eventually because it's just not a way to live.
I think it already is.
It's exhausting.
This whole gentle parenting turning into fuck them kids moment is my favorite. I'm like, thank God someone's finally saying something. Yes.
We don't condone beating children, but gentle parenting needs to have an equilibrium.
It does. And that actually, we should do that as a topic. I would love to do that as a topic, but we're not parents, but I would like to talk about the impact it's had in general.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be a fun topic. Okay, so in order
to do all that, maybe this episode incited something out of you. We would love to know.
We would love to know.
Did we rage bait you?
Did we rage bait you? We're hoping.
Yes.
Carpe diem, bitches.
Thank you for watching this episode of Karaoke Wine. Please like and subscribe.